that today one of his programs has resulted in the apprehension of, I believe you said, 25 wanted fugitives, and that really is today just in this room. The Silver Circle is an honor for those who have made a significant contribution to television, as we were saying at the beginning. And in so many ways, Phyllis Schwartz has done that in San Diego. I could talk about Phyllis Schwartz, but I think, I'm going to leave this to someone else. To tell us about some of them here is multi-award winner, co-anchor of NBC7 San Diego News in the Morning. Please welcome Marianne Cushy. Marianne.
You have all this composure and then suddenly you lose it with me, right? Well, don't do that.
It's
Don't do
just,
that. You know
it's
how much
just
pressure
you.
I'm under
It's just
already. And I'm looking at this table over here. Pat, nice to see you. And Al, nice to see you. I haven't seen you in like years. Hi, Carol. Hi, Kimberly. I went to your house for a wedding once. George? Yes. He was your bridesmaid. Remember that?
He was getting married.
No, wait. Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't your friend. I was George's friend. Sorry, I got it on this. Okay, I digress. That, Will and Lisa, that was an awesome speech. I worked in Bakersfield. But you have me beat because Fresno is further into the San Joaquin Valley than I ever wanted to go. So that was a good thing. Phyllis asked me right before I got up to speak. I gave a speech. I'm not good at this. I'm good at, Rory knows this. I look at teleprompters. I do what Steve does too. It's really hard, right? So Phyllis said, I gave a speech a couple weeks ago, and she goes, how'd it go? I said, it went great, and you could give the same one again. And I said, I'm going to use a word that my colleague and friend Jean Cubison uses. It's not to be repurposed, right? Phyllis is not for repurposing or re-racking. This is an original speech. So, here we go. Phyllis, this is the toughest assignment you have ever given me in my entire life, and we don't even work together anymore. Okay. And I'd like to think I'm an intrepid reporter every once in a while. So besides the little interview I did with you, I interviewed some other people. Okay, so I talked to a number of people, and I promise this will be PG rated because your daughters are here. Here we go. And I didn't have trouble in getting quotes. She was like a mother, tough on you, but only because she cared. She was accessible, but able to talk to you and answer emails all at the same time. Multitasking. A Spitfire who knows what she wants, gets what she wants, and is able to get the best work out of people. She's tough, but it's not personal. She cares about her coworkers, and she appreciates and understands the hard work that is TV news. Simply put, she gets it. And this, from my friend and colleague Rory, is a story that she recounted. It's quite anecdotal. Apparently, Phyllis once told Rory, I hate the word fuzzy. I hate fuzzy women, especially. Fuzzy, as in you don't know where they stand. Well, Phyllis is definitely not fuzzy. She tells it like it is, Rory goes on, and when she became GM, I was thinking of going to her office to get feedback, but somebody said, if you can't take it, don't ask. I didn't. Did I tell that right? Okay, but then, as we all know, right, Rory, all that changed. Phyllis definitely is someone who cares, and cares a lot. And I go on. Influential, savvy, smart, news junkie, accountable, a leader in the industry. One of the smartest people I've ever worked with, especially when it comes to recognizing a good news story and promoting it. No nonsense, to the point, but with a heart. So you get my drift here, right? Everyone I asked, I go, what would you say if you were to describe Phyllis? Some of them I but there was this instant recognition from people. One story from my colleague, Susan Taylor, and this one in particular I can say to every woman who is on the air can relate to. And for guys, you can kind of relate to it, but you don't have as much. And that's on the subject of hair. Susan was anchoring in Miami, and her grandparents were living in Florida as well, and they would watch her every single night. And every single night, her grandpa, Freddie, would call her up and comment on what she was wearing. Was it the right color? And then it would get to her hair. Did you style it right? Did you poof it right? Whatever. But Grandpa Freddie apparently died several years ago. And so Susan came here to San Diego, and I know Susan does not believe in reincarnation, but she swears that a part of her Grandpa Freddie came back as Phyllis. Because as soon as Susan would get, see, I told you I did research. No, it's not a rose. I said, no, if this was a rose, you'd go far beyond those parameters. Gosh, I cannot go back. So when Susan would get back to her desk, she'd get this email from Phyllis. Should it be shorter? Should it be poofier? And so every time Susan says that she got this email from Phyllis, she would look to the heavens and say, "Hi, Grandpa Freddie." So that's her story. And the whole point of that is not to be silly, because we are. She pays attention to detail because it matters, and she never expects more from people than she expects from herself. She also had her eyes on the future. She had a videotape made of all the rats when we lived at Kearney Mesa. And I say lived because, right, Ken, we live. We all who work in TV live at the TV stations. She made a videotape of all the rats that ran around our trailers in Kearney Mesa, because this is old, dilapidated. Right, Rose? We had rats. Yes? And she didn't know this. I know y'all ate already, but I had termite flies land on my keyboard once and on my chest right before. It was really gross. So she made this videotape so that she could show it to the bigwigs in New York to say, we got to get out of this old pen factory and move downtown. So she has a vision for the future, and it was grand. And as you know, we eventually did move downtown to that Window on the World studio. And it's one of the accomplishments that she is most proud of. And I know I mentioned the hair thing over and over, but again, it's detail and the on-air product that she most cared about. From the news stories that we covered to the on-air product, it all came from her experience back in Chicago, where she held every position, from news producer, I have to read this, assistant news director, EP, news director, and then eventually executive VP at NBC Universal Local Media. And all of it began when she was an intern at KNSD, and as probably she mentioned, some of us went on another work to KFMB, and so she was news producer there. And then on to Chicago, and then she became general manager of KNSD, which is where we got all these stories and how we came to know her. And from moving the station downtown to making morning news a big player, I have to say, I know, because I'm biased, you did. I don't think I know any other station that has all 6 morning shows running at the same time, so we got a lot of competition going, largely in part because of Phyllis. She made that time slot very competitive, and she raised the bar for all the shows, including the highly coveted 11 p.m. news slot. She upped the profile on medical consumer features about San Diego, Gene Covison, politically speaking, Paul Kruger there, who's the brain behind a lot of that, and community involvement, education, Rory there, because all of this mattered to her. The Hispanic community was a sector that grew exponentially, and she recognized that with Me San Diego. And she also got us connected with the web by raising its profile in the market. And so I share with you the fact that Phyllis, a visionary, a mentor who is generous with her knowledge, and she worked her magic. I'd go in her office whether or not I was summoned or not. I'd sit in the chair before her, and all of a sudden I would feel this breeze, and I would look behind me and the door would suddenly shut. And I'm like, okay, Phyllis is still sitting behind her desk, and I'm sitting here, and the door shut. So she had this pedal installed that closed the door behind her, and I thought, oh my God, will there be enough oxygen left in here by the time we're done? So anyway, I still never found out if it was a pedal or button. But she leaves an indelible mark here in San Diego, and to this day, she's developing, creating, programming, and it shows. But above all, I want to leave you with this. Her role as mom and wife stands out so uniquely. And so I end with these comments. Now, did you guys tell your mom? Okay, see? I told you, Phyllis, I did research. Okay, from Paul, her husband. Phyllis is a driven, passionate, at times obstinate, loving mother of our children. She is talkative, funny, and a great collaborator. And sometimes, that's good timing, sometimes you can hear her cough from miles away. And from Yoshi, who is college bound. No matter how stupid my jokes are, she always laughs. And from Lily, she's the glue that holds us all together, and I'm proud to be stuck with her. So everyone, it's my honor to present to you Phyllis Schwartz to the Silver Circle.
What are we doing?
We're just having a picture.
We're going to take a picture. Just tilt it forward for the glare.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's my bag.
Okay, get the heck out of here.
Okay, I'm leaving now.
Thank you. Thanks. And you know what? It wasn't a pedal. I didn't install it. Someone else did. I didn't ask for it. It was a button. I'm going to keep my remarks tight because it's hard to follow that. And thanks to all of you, especially the three nice witches of Eastwick, Deborah and Heather Bone and Carrie Briggs. So I think we're behind this stew of getting me nominated. I really appreciate it, to the Academy as well. And thanks to Marianne. I really appreciate that Marianne did not go through the emails and calls that I do almost weekly still, even though I haven't been at the station for 3 years, about her appearance, which look at how nice she looks today. Did you see that? And in addition also to my fellow honorees, I'm going to have to read these because I'm not good at the teleprompter, at being extemporaneous, especially my colleagues from NBC 739, Bill Gerlach and Pat Brown. It's wonderful to be up here as part of this with you. And Ken, thank you too. You know Ken's one of my favorite people. And also to Paul, my husband, and Yoshi and Lily, my kids, because they really have put up with a lot over the years. People that know me know I'm, on the phone a lot. I run around a lot. I'm screaming and yelling. My hair's usually on fire. I flat ironed it today, but usually it's sticking straight up. So I'm really going to make this be a little love note to the San Diego TV market. I've always felt that San Diego was and is one of the best media markets in the country. I think that's why so many of us stay here, and why so many people have, like myself or Marty Levine or Susan Taylor, have left, gone and had fantastic careers and come back here and had even better. Of course, it has nothing to do with the weather and the fish tacos. I think it's really, this sounds kind of sappy, and people that know me know I'm kind of a hard ass, but I'm also a softie. That's why I'm keeping my speech. People that know me know I can blubber, etc. But I really think it's the people here that I've always been drawn to, why I've had so much love of the market coming back. I think people here are scrappier. I think they're more creative. They're definitely more tech savvy. And although collegial, they're no less competitive than their colleagues up in Los Angeles or in Chicago, where I spent 20 years. For a long time, the rest of the country thought we operated in the shadows of our neighbor to the north, to Los Angeles. And I never subscribed to that school of thought. We are in our own right a vibrant, exciting place to do TV. I think my own coming-of-age news moment was at 9:01 a.m. on September 25th, 1978, when I was at my first producer job at KFMB, the crash of PSA Flight 182. And I imagine that was the turning point for the market in general. For many of you that were here, Kathy Clark, who was with me at KFMB, many of you are shaking your heads. That was our turning point. I think everyone in all the shops around town knew that surf reports and zoo animal stories alone would just not cut it anymore. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that the movie The Anchorman was a documentary. That was a documentary. Anybody, Gene knows that. That was a documentary. That wasn't a comedy. That's why they won't do another one. It's a conspiracy, I'm sure. So I'm keeping my remarks short. You've heard, my whole history and everybody unfolded on me. But I'm extremely proud to be a product of this market. As you know, I went to San Diego State. My first experience in broadcasting was writing copy for the radio at KPBS, then went on to Channel 8 and was a producer, et cetera, et cetera. And I truly feel that I'm a product of this market, and this is my home, and it's just been a wonderful experience. I've been back for almost 12 years, and I'll never leave. It's just fantastic. So thank you very much.